how to know when a trend is broken, and then and many other things. So I'll go ahead and share my screen now with you guys. How somebody can spot in a good trade and then move ahead with it. And then I will teach you guys how to know when to exit your trade. I want to talk about the trend trading strategy. The trend trading strategy. Please, in case if anybody has anything to say, the chat area is open. You can type in anything you want to type. I will read it and then get back to you guys. So, you know, most times people are always afraid of trading. Sometimes when your market just moves small pips, you don't collect and run. Come on, say may no reverse. That's not really trade. That's not really a good way of trading, because you discover that the moment you exit the market, that's the moment the market will start going in its direction, a prescribed and arranged direction. That is when you see the market start going there. So, and then how to get a good opportunity in the market, like a lot of opportunities in the market, a lot of opportunities. You can see Eurocard now. But by the time we finish, at least I believe most of you guys would have at least will understand a little how to hold your trade and control yourself so that you don't keep exiting profitable trades. All right. So we have what we call, okay. Please, if you guys can hear me, just type in a chat. If you guys can hear me, just type in something on the chat place, so that I will know that you guys are following. Then I can be able to know when the network is off. So now this is how to, we have, like, I know most of you knows how to identify a trend in the market. Like, for instance, with this market here, we can say that this is below, these are downtrends till down, and then coming, and then this is a partial uptrend here. This becomes another downtrend. This method, these are downtrends. Okay, let's get this smaller one here. So you can see that most times you see that the market presents a lot of trends on a lower time frame. You can see trends here. These are our trends. This zone is a ranging market here, but the range was being broken from this point. Yeah, it broke out here and gave a continuation. So currently now, this is how to, I want to teach us break out of a trend. You know, if you look at this market, you discover that if you zoom in or zoom out, you might be confused on where to follow. Where is the market exactly going? Like as this chart is now, you can't even tell where this market is going. But there is a techniques you can use to be trading this market. That is what I'll be showing you guys this evening. So, like I said before, we have what we call the uptrend, and we have what we call the downtrend. This is a downtrend market. This is a downtrend market here. These are downtrend markets. And then this is a beginning of an uptrend. All right. Now, let's say you can ask, okay, we just came into this market now. This is Euro AUD. Okay. This is Euro AUD. And I remember I zoomed in very well so that we can be able to see past market structures. You can see ranging markets here. The market broke down, fall to this point, came down, came back to this point, and came down again, came to this point, and then came down again. And it was trying to obey. You can see, okay. I don't know if you guys, I can't still, should I say I can't still believe if there's anybody that does not know how to draw a trend line. But peradventure, there is such. This is how to draw a trend. Like in this market now, before you draw a trend, you have to get a two. If it is an uptrend, you have to get a two high low. A two high lows to make your trend. Now, for instance, from this lowest point, we have one here, we have two here, we have another one here. So it's either you use this one, two, and draw your trend here, this one, and this low to draw your trend, or you use this and this. But somebody like me, I'm going to use these 2 points, 1 and 2, as my trend. Now, once I have this 1, 2, my trend is established. I can now wait for okay, something I'm looking for. I should have used I will now wait for this market to come down. Okay, sorry. This is a resistance zone. I can now wait for this market to pull back to somewhere here, this zone. I can now wait for this market to pull back to this zone. Then I enter my buy trade again, all right? I will enter my buy trade again at this point. I don't know if you guys can see that very nice there. I will enter a buy trade here again in this zone because I've established a trend. This is 1, this is 2. Now, how were we able to identify this trend? How were we able to know that this market is going up? When you zoom in, when you zoom out clearly, when you zoom out, you'll be able to understand, you can see bigger picture of the trend. You can see bigger pictures. Now, let me draw my trend and show you why this has become a buy trade. Okay. This is a low high here. This is a low high here. This is another one here. This is a break of structure. All right. This is a break of structure at this zone. A structure was being broken. You can see a breakout here. This is a structure. This is a structure. This is a structure. These are resistance zones, a trend resistance zones. So this market was being broken at this very zone. Let me zoom in. You can see this is the high. This is another high. This market was being broken here at this spot. He broke it at this spot. He came down to it and retested it. That is why those of you guys that mostly doesn't zoom out to see the clearer picture of the market, you might be making mistakes in your trading sometimes. Most times you have to zoom out to see the market structure. Like if I open this chart like this, some of you might not know the breakout of this point, where this market broke out. Like for instance, this is a trend here. But from here, you can see that the market broke below. Had it been you zoomed in, you would have understood that this was still a trend that was following, that was being respected at this point, and at this point. So you can see that from here, this point, it broke out here and came back and retested it and went up small. It was ranging here now, and then it came back to that same support. I know you guys must have been used to support now. You can see that these points are areas of support, areas of support, areas of support, areas of support zones. So let me clean it up. After breaking out here, he came back to that same zone and retested it and was now ranging. And then he now broke out here. Now broke out at this point. Is that person that is playing that radio? Off your radio, whether radio or waiting. Just hold on, let me mute some guys. Okay, so you can see that this is a break of structure. This is a resistance, partial resistance zone that got broken. So this market now has broken the trend, the long-term trend. This is a long-term downtrend. If we cross-check the date, you see that it's been a trend. It's been long. This is since February. This trend has been respected since February. Yeah, 14th of February till this was where he broke it out till till April 13th. That was where this trend was being broken. So as this trend break, we are going to watch this market. We're going to expect this market to push, we're going to expect this market to push up like this, to push up. That means Euro AUD is a buy trade. I don't know if you guys are getting. So let me delete these things. So now that the market has gotten, this trend is already broken. So we now have an uptrend. Remember, this is 4-hour time frame. We now have an uptrend. So what will happen probably happens. Sorry, let me accept somebody that just joined. Okay. The guy is out. So what will basically happen will be the market. This is, like as I told us before, this is now a new trend. Okay. So we will wait for this market to pull back to this trend zone. Around this zone, we can accumulate trades. Okay. Some persons are still joining you. So Let them join so that I move them. Sorry for the hold, but I hope you guys are understanding at least the little explanation. This market, because what I wanted us to understand this evening is how to identify a breakout and a retest, and then a continuation. So the market broke out here. The market broke out at this zone here, and then it came down to retest it and was ranging around here before it continued. But meanwhile, we've already gotten this is high low, these are high lows, these are high lows. That means we have 1, 2, 3 high lows, which means our uptrend is established. You understand? So we wait for a retracement here before we continue our up movement to the upside. Okay, that's how the market will be doing high, high, and high, low, high, 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 low. Now, if I should go to 1 week time frame, those of you guys that are in on the mentorship group, you will understand. If you check here, if you check the strategy we learned, if you cross check it, you will understand that this is a bullish engulfing bar on a support zone. I know those of you that are old with me will understand this. This is a bullish engulfing bar on a support zone. That means this is a buy trade. Okay, this is a buy trade, and then this is the next point that should be targeted. This point should be your TP1, which is a resistance zone. You understand? So this one now for those that are involved knows what I'm saying. So on a weekly time frame, this is you don't stop that dog. You see, huh? You see all these new people who will join, and then come there. Person dog to do that. I beg you, if now your dog, just help us. I beg, Uncle Gozi.
Balulua.
I'm not saying you
Yeah,
get dog.
Bring it.
Okay. So no problem, but so this is a low point. On a high time frame, 1 week time frame, this is a low. So, and we have a good bullish engulfing bar that gives us a buy trade. Now, let me go back to what I was talking about, a trend, how to trade the trend. Now, this trend is already broken. For those of us that are joining new, we are talking about how to identify a trend, a breakout and retest, and then take the trade and then get something out of the market. This was a break of structure. The trend was broken here, and it came back and retested it here, and it continued up. So we have an uptrend now. Okay, we have an uptrend now. So you can either wait for a small pullback. It might not pull back to this point because the candle is bullish. It's very bullish. You can see a small retest here. This small candle here, this small red candle is a retest, partial retest on this zone. So the market might keep pulling up, but know that we are in a buy trade now. So if you should buy here, of course you cannot buy here because it's on a resistance zone. Just wait for a candle to pull back. You can enter here or you can enter at the line. So that is how to get or spot a breakout of a trend. Let me go to CAD JPY. Now, this is CAD JPY. I'm on a 4 hours time frame. Now, when those of us that are listening well, I taught us how to identify, how to get a trend, how to draw a trend line. This is our first this is our first low high low rather. This is high low. These are high lows, these are high lows, these are high lows, these are high lows to this point. Now, let's draw our trend and see if this trend is broken or not. Let's get our trend. Let's get this point first. Okay, let's get this one first. Okay. Okay, you can see this, you can see this, you can see this. Now, this is another trend here. And I told you that you guys have to zoom in, sorry, zoom out, so that you can be able to see the market structure. You can see that it is in an uptrend move. So now that the market started from here till this point, let's see how do we know the direction, where to go to? How do we know where to move? Now, this is our uptrend. Okay, and this market was being broken here. All right, it broke here and came back and retested here. I wanted to come down, then kept going up. Now, when you take this kind of trade, this is a high low, this is a low high, this is a second low high. So this trend started forming here. But if we had gone on weekly, we would have seen that probably here would have been a good bullish candles. So which couldn't give us a sell trade. So at this point, let me remove this. This is a breakout and it came back to retest it here. If you had sold here, it would have given you a stop loss. It would have hit your stop loss, which is not a problem. There is no problem in losing a trade. All right. That's why there is need for a stop loss. That's why there is need for you to have a stop loss. Okay. Now that the market broke here, the structure broke this trend line here, and it retested it and kept going up, we exited the trade. Now, if for us to draw another trend, we can pick up another trend from here, because this is a different trend altogether. Now, let me pick one here. All right. This is another one I picked out from here. This is a trend. If I should take it up, down, down, you see that it was respected by, you can see these lines, you can see it here, you can see it's respected here, and you can see this one. So from here, our trend is broken here. Okay, our trend is broken here. So that means we have a sell signal here because it is broken. Now, if we are taking this sell here, all right, our stop loss should always be above. And our risk to reward ratio should always be either ×2 or ×1. Either by two pursuits or by one. Now, if I'm to take this trend, these are going to be my areas of take profits. These are going to be areas of my take profit. That means I'll have, okay, I just have 10 minutes for this class and I will likely restart the class again. So that you guys can still join, so that we'll continue, because I'm not yet done. Once I'm done, I will let us know. So these are, if I'm to take this trade, this will be areas of my take profit. Person like me will leave this trade and take profit here. That means I'm going to trail stop as it is trading, as it is selling. I'm going to follow it down. As it is going down, I'm adjusting my stop loss until the market reverses and hit my stop loss. Most times I use a trailing stop of 15 pips, 15 pips gap. Let's say the market is at this zone. I will leave a 15 pips gap from here to that my stop loss, so that if peradventure it comes back, it hits it and go off. Now, this trend is broken here, okay? Let me pick up an object. This trend It's broken here. All right. It's broken at this zone. So now what happens next? What do we do next? Now that we've seen that the trend is broken, now can we go to higher time frame and really see the structure of the market on a higher time frame and really know where are we going? Let me go to daily. You can see that the market is all-time high. Now, when you are counting your trend, this is high. This is another high. So, and from the trend we have here, this candle is very bullish. Sorry, it's very bearish on a daily time frame. On a daily, it's bearish. Now, let's check weekly. You can see that weekly closed with a weak rejection. Let me remove this things. Okay, let me delete them. I'll come back to it. You can see that it closed with a weak. This is a rejection. Now, this is a rejection from this zone, from this very particular zone here. All right. All right. These are rejections from this zone. You can see this is all-time high. This is all-time high. So this is at the same zone of rejection. Okay. So we are expecting a pullback either to this zone, or to these zones here. So either a pullback to these points, the first one, then the second one after, or it comes down here. But what happens is we can see that on the higher time frame, the market is all-time high. So we should be expecting a drop in. You know, those of you that knows trend, you know, when a trend forms a high, there should be a low. So this is a high point. So there should be a low, either at this zone or at this zone. And mind you, if you're able to pick market from here down to this point, you are having 493 pips. So 493 pips, and you use like 0.10 to trade it. You've made money. At least you've made some money. So now on a weekly time frame, we see that the market is all-time high. Then we'll come back to our 4 hours time frame and then know that the trend that was broken is valid. All right. So now let me draw that trend again. I'm picking this. I'll go all-time high. I can just go straight to this point. The market is broken here. If you're taking a sell here, wait for, let me check if there are guys in the waiting room. Okay. If you're taking a trade here, your stop loss should be here. All right. If you're taking a sell here, your stop loss should be here. Of course, I don't expect you to take a sell here. Let the market pull back small. You know, there is a breakout and there must be a good retest. Either somewhere at this level. You know, the market just broke. It has not given you a double. It has not shown you that the downtrend is starting. All right. And I told us how to draw a trend. You have to be patient. That is one thing with trading. You have to be patient. This is the first high low now, because this trend is broken. This is the first high low now. If the market closes above here and it is not above this and it starts returning, that should be your second high low. Then you can now pick your trend and draw it, connecting to that point that is stopped and started reversing. That is where you now have a double confirmation of a downtrend. You can now take your sell and put your stop loss here, because of course your stop loss here, your risk to reward ratio is okay. Let's take, for instance, you entered at 102.171 and your stop loss is 103.097 and your take profit is a full down to this point. You are pursuing a lot of pips with a minimum risk. You understand? When you open a trade and it is going against you, just make sure you set your stop loss above the high, above either the high or the low high of that your entry. All right. So this trade now, CAD JPY, I'll wait for a retest here. If it closes here and is not higher than this, I will take my sell on this trade, and then I'll be following it. As it is selling, I'm adjusting my stop loss. I feed there on this trade throughout the week. You understand? Well, once I get my entry. So, but the most important thing is how to identify when a trend is broken. This trend now is broken here. Let me get another pair to explain this breakout and retest, and then taking a trade. I think we should be rounding up soon. Now, this is an uptrend. Okay, this is CHEP JPY. I'm picking this low. These are ranging points. These points are okay. These are ranging points. These are, sorry. These are ranging points. These zones are ranging points. You guys should know these are ranging points. So I'm picking the low, the high low here. I'm picking this one, these two, to draw my trend and see where it will cut across. This is it. Then I'll go and analyze. I pray by the next time we join. If this time ends, I will create another class. We'll start another one now, and then I will analyze 2 trades for the week. This is an uptrend. This trend taken from here and here is not yet broken. Now, what if we take another length from here to here, because this is another trend. These are trends again. These are trends again. Okay. These are trends, which is broken here now. It is broken now. So what I will do is wait for a pullback. If the pullback here is not higher than this, you take your sell. If this market comes up like this and closes somewhere here, not above here, you take your sell as a, just as I explained on CAD JPY. You set your stop